What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining us. It is the 12th of the 2nd, 3 days till my birthday, and we are back for the weekly FM show. Tonight we're going to be talking tactics. We've got Golden FM as a special guest again. Cheers for joining us, pal.
That's all right. How's it going?
It's going alright. It's going not bad. Busy day playing FM. Enjoyable day playing FM. I've actually had some success.
Good.
Unfortunately, all the tactics I wanted to upload have gone tits up, image-wise, so we're going to be mainly focusing on Ryan's, but he has had more success than I dream of, so that's alright. What I will say is Dr. Benj is listening. Cheers for tuning in, pal. Really appreciate it. And I actually watched your video where your girlfriend was playing Football Manager. You are definitely punching above your weight.
Mr. Yellow Card's watching as well.
Oh, fantastic.
You know him? Yeah.
I do. And
Friend.
Mr. Zulu. We are famous this evening.
And Mick's watching.
Oh, fantastic. See? It is flying. Keep going. Keep going. Just line people off.
Luke. I'm sure he's watching. He always watches.
Nice. I like that. But the last bit. Luke, well, I'm sure he's watching. Maybe. Did you know it's Mick's birthday? I did not.
It's his birthday yesterday as well.
Is this evolving Mick?
Yeah, it is.
Right, I'm going to say Dr. Benji mentioned it in the comments before we went live, and somebody mentioned it last week. I was saying to Paul, I have never spoken to him. So people have said, get him on the show or speak to him. I'm quite happy to get him on the show. If he drops, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I said if he drops me a tweet, because I have people actually contacting us on Twitter now to come on the show. But this guy has been requested, so he must be some sort of an FM legend. I thought there was only Paul who's an FM legend, hence why I kept getting him on.
There's many FM legends. In fact, Ben can join us now if you want for a little bit.
There you go, yeah, that's no problem, get him on. Ryan, you're sitting there nice and quiet.
Yeah, I'm just going to let you chat for most. I'm knackered.
Poor Ryan.
Fantastic.
It's been a long day.
If you notice, I started the show by not introducing Ryan as much as normal, because normally when I introduce him, he starts yawning. And Dr. Benj has joined us. So cheers for coming on, pal.
I can't believe what you just said about me.
Which bit? The punching above your weight?
That is way out of order.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
I refute it.
Oh, it's okay.
How can you say such a thing?
Well, it's okay. I get told it all the time, and I take it as a compliment.
Well, I'm heartbroken.
I'm sorry.
I just don't know. Like, first you accused me of stealing your video idea.
I did not accuse.
Whatever next?
It was just an interesting discussion when someone messaged me going, he's stolen your idea.
Well, who was it? Call them out immediately.
I cannot name names, Chris.
Well, it seems... What, Chris? Who's Chris?
Don't worry, people follow the names. Championship manager.
Who's Chris?
Come on, I've said Chris and Championship manager. There's only one more name to drop in the middle of it.
Chris.
Well,
right, what I want to do is actually want to discuss that idea. Do you want to actually just say what you did? Because your idea was totally different. My girlfriend just played a game. Your girlfriend is actually playing the whole game.
Yeah. Well, I thought it would be fun to see how she reacted if I just left her sort of hands-free with it. And yeah, the results have been interesting. We've recorded 3 episodes. The first 2 have been uploaded already. We've not even played a game yet. You know, we'll get there one day. Maybe episode 14, we'll play a match. She's met the board. She's met the media.
I'm gonna have to watch episode 2. I watched episode 1 today, and I absolutely laughed my head off at the name selection and the discussion about where Messi was from.
Yeah, she's not really up on football.
It was fantastic.
All right,
who shall I be? Oh, Barcelona. Don't be Barcelona.
I just want you to know, if you're ever asked again, that she has hit the jackpot with me, and I will not have it said that I'm punching above my weight. Right. She's hit the heights she'll ever hit.
Right. So, let's discuss this more then. She is punching above her weight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. Right, down the side, a few people commented. Do you know Second Yellow Card's name? I do. He's on our Facebook group, but I refuse to call him by it. He is Mr. Yellow, and he is a member of Reservoir Dogs.
I thought he was called James.
He's not called... Is he called James? I can't remember. Do you know, even when I see his name pop up on our Facebook group, I still just think, oh, second yellow card. I don't even really look at his name.
Can we call you Mr. Central from now on?
Yeah, that's fine.
Mr. Central.
Well, as you discussed on the transfer deadline day, Paul, you just thought I was talking to myself every time I said, so, Paul, what do you think?
Very confused.
But first off, Paul, actually, before we go into the tactics side, as you'll see, I made a little small post on our website just to talk about Golden FM. Don't worry, it will get removed after the discussion tonight. Basically, I want to go down to Nurturing Nottingham.
Oh, yes.
Episode 8.
Click on that thing.
Now, do you know what I was going about? I don't know how it'll run while we live on air.
I wouldn't... People would be confused. There'd be two voices.
Yeah, we'll leave it. Yeah, there'll be 2 Pauls. Basically, do you want to just tell people what you did to the local rivals?
Oh, I thrashed them 7-1. Sorry to Derby fans listening.
I think it's disgraceful. I can't believe you did it to Derby.
They were in the Premier League as well. I know they were bottom, but it was still an impressive win.
There you go. Matt's listening. I knew it was Matt.
Hi, Matt.
That's how I know it's second yellow card, because his picture shows he needs a haircut. I noticed Ryan started laughing at that. Have you seen his picture? Get a haircut, Ryan. We've discussed this.
Matt has longer hair than me.
You've been hairist.
It's jealousy. You have me on Facebook, Paul. You know how little amount of hair I have. I'm just jealous of anyone who has more hair than myself.
Are you and Luke twins?
Have a what?
Are you and Luke, statistical approach, are you twins?
No, I have more hair than him.
You look very similar and you're from the same area.
Oh, that's harsh. I don't look like him. I'm miles more handsome.
But comparatively to me, where do you stand?
Oh, well below that.
Well, questionable.
I cover myself with logos constantly. But I did upload a video on the webcam onto our YouTube channel tonight. I did remove it 2 minutes later.
I'd love to see it.
I'd say it was just explaining why I removed all the series off the YouTube channel. Because we are going in a new direction with no add-ons on our Football Manager videos, with the intention of hopefully getting promoted by Sports Interactive in the future, if I can convince them to start doing that.
Can I ask you a question? I know you sort of bring people on to interview them, but do you mind if I flip reverse it on you, baby?
Ooh, controversial.
So with FMCentral, obviously there's quite a lot of competition with fan sites. What's the end goal for FMCentral?
I don't really know. The end goal
to be the best.
Yeah, but it's probably the goal. It's probably what we are now, which is just to have a successful Facebook group, which is where we started. It's always going to be the centre of FMCentral, and then just to provide a website which helps the people of the group and the community to find stuff they need. That's why we make stuff like our training guide, which has had a lot of success because it helps people.
So for example, if I see you on a bookshelf next to the other FM fan sites, tell me why I'm picking up your book.
Because we're a community. We're not just a website. We have the Facebook group. We have the lot. Where a lot of the other websites are fantastic, but they're just a website. You're in and out. Where with ourselves you can come in, you can chat, you can come into the groups, you can go onto the pages. We have pages for gaming, pages for everything on Facebook.
That is a tremendous sell job.
Thanks, I did well. I should get Ryan to do it, or as people know, Mr. Depression.
No,
I've had enough interviews today.
Ryan.
Yes.
Are you looking for any outs here? Like we might have a spot on the FM leagues at some point. If you're interested in.
Oh, that's ridiculous! Come on.
In moving over to something, then I'm offering you the spot right now. I
run an excellent online league through FMCentral.
And yes, we actually run our own online league, and you stole our idea.
but mine's really good.
Yeah, ours was set up just for the members of the group a while ago.
All right.
Yours is an awesome idea. I absolutely love it.
I'll let you carry on.
Set up a while ago. It was set up 2 years ago.
Oh, sorry. Did you say who won it? Who won it, Paul?
Who won it? Yeah.
It keeps running season after season with transfers, etc. But Ryan controls all of that. I literally have nothing to do with it, so I can't take no credit whatsoever.
Apart from the random comment when you say he should be kicked out because he's useless.
Well, yeah, if people don't play the games, you've got to obviously make sure people are participating. I'll just jump down the side. Jake's asked, "What are your views on ISIS?"
ISIS. Oh, we're not going to be discussing that on this show.
I have no idea what that even is.
This is an FM show,
ISIS.
not a political government show.
I've never heard of it. Sorry, I'm from Norway. I have no idea what that is. That's my excuse. What's going to happen with the Luton save? You enjoying it? Well, John, the Luton save. Do you know what? I'm really stuck at the minute. Maybe you guys can help, because the Luton save I was loving, and I don't really want to kind of chuck an episode 1 up based in season 3. So I'm considering doing it on the website with kind of just a quick backstory video to start the post. I'm not too sure. I can't really tell you an honest answer. I can't just say, oh, it's going to be this, and then next week I change what I'm planning. The save isn't going to disappear because I'm doing fantastic on it. So it's definitely going to be around, but it's more than likely going to be on the website now. But what I would say is, to move further on for the FMCentral basically being a community, I've took FMCentral away from FMCentral basically over the last few days, and what I've done is I've started writing under FMCentral's name on the away stand and Football Manager Now. Is it called Football Manager Now? The forum?
Yep.
Yeah, basically just to get ourselves out there a bit more in the community. I want people to know FMCentral are a bit more, so I'm writing a story on them 2 forums if you want to go and check it out as well, with another team. Seriously, I play Football Manager way too much. Paul, do you do much away from your channel and the FM League?
I can smell burning toast for some reason.
That's not me.
Maybe I should check.
Yeah, you go and check where you're burning. I'll speak to Ryan about it.
That's the greatest answer to that question possible.
It's fantastic.
Do you take part in FM forums? I can smell burning toast.
Well, 1 second. Dr. Benji's unmuted his mic.
Hi.
I can ask the question to him. What do you do in the FM community, Dr. Benji?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I revolutionise. That's what I do. I take good ideas and I push them to the furthest limits they can go to.
What he's basically saying there is he saw my idea about the girlfriend playing FM and turned it up to the next level.
Well, no, to be honest, I don't like to do. I'm very much a person that doesn't like to do things that other people have done. So when I found out that you'd already partaken in such an activity, I was appalled with my sort of, my rudeness.
If it helps, that's actually gone off the channel now due to the amount of add-ons I had on it. So you are now unique.
Thank you. Well, no, I think within the community, I think people need to start. The FM community, compared to other gaming communities, especially, is very, very small. Like yes. We are, considering the amount of people that play the game. Like when you look on Steam, we're in like the top 5, 10 biggest games played on Steam every single day. If you look through if you go back through the full managers as well,
yeah.
If you combine that, we're like 100,000 strong almost every single day at any one time, and we are massively underrepresented, especially on YouTube, just online in general. Like the Football Manager Reddit has got just over 16,000 followers, I think it is, or subscribers, which is a tiny number if you compare it to other football games like FIFA, as much as we might not want to compare ourselves.
I totally agree.
And
I agree.
I think growing the scene is something that has to be done by everyone. I think the bloggers have to get involved, the fan sites have to get involved. I think YouTube is doing well. I think it can certainly go bigger and better. And obviously SI took note with streaming recently as well by integrating it into the game. But the big thing that will change it is the support from the developers. If Sports Interactive and the guys at SI want to support everything, of course they've got the affiliate fan sites, but for me they've got to do more, and that's partly their responsibility. And they've got to realise that if they give the support to the fan sites and the blogs and the YouTubers and the streamers, that their game will grow to levels that they probably don't think it can do. But
I know.
Prove that it can.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
Right.
What I was going to say is I was talking to Passion for FM today actually about this and the growth of Football Manager, which is a good thing because I actually used to work for Passion for FM before I set up my own site. So it's actually good that we are on talking terms. And we spoke about the support of Sports Interactive and basically the way to improve the community as a whole, from websites to YouTube. And I mean, I've got the list here, which was from January 2015 of the top 20 gaming franchises on YouTube. Total monthly views: Minecraft had 2,395 million views, and in 20th was a game I've never even, in fact half these games I've never even heard of. The Elder Scrolls had 60 million views on YouTube in January.
Yeah, I think that's quite a popular game.
A game like Football Manager isn't even hitting until the FIFA YouTuber Spencer FC started coming on the scene. We would be struggling to hit 1 million. Would be nowhere near 1 million, I would guess, actually. A month.
Yeah, a month. Yeah.
That'd be a big target.
I mean, personally, I think the way people do the streams as well, which is a lot of us do it, is where you talk about what's happened recently, then you do a live match. I think that format is fantastic as well, and I don't see an issue with how YouTubers are presenting stuff. I mean, I'm just a small YouTube channel. Like I say, we have a fan site, and I just decided to kind of step onto YouTube and see how I could do, basically, because I like to record my videos. I thought I would just stick them out for people to watch. But sorry, go on.
Can I? Because it's an interesting point you bring up that you've mentioned, that you don't think that the videos have to change, and I'm gonna bring some solid disagreeing but debate to the point.
Yeah.
I think that the YouTube format that has existed for, especially a Football Manager, that has existed for 2 or 3 years, has meant that the FM community hasn't grown to the size it could have done. And I think it relies on other people coming and doing new things and trying different stuff out. And you look at the success of a network game between 3 people with Spencer, and 150,000 people are watching each of those, and it's because
is that with True Geordie?
Yeah, and it's because he's putting that extra effort in to make something different. Like when I first started videos, I decided that I wasn't going to follow the similar format of running through games and showing those and then just playing a match. I wanted to make it seem like it was more than that, like they were watching something where they could consider themselves like a season ticket holder rather than just a viewer of a game.
Yeah.
And I think we've got to start pushing boundaries. And I think with things like the FM League, we've changed the format. There's a chat beforehand, you play the game, there's a chat afterwards. And I think that there's different YouTubers popping up now doing different things. A big one, despite the fact we've had some differences recently, Fox in the Box has come along and he's doing things that you wouldn't expect other people to do in the community.
Now Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say whether you think what he's doing is good or not, it doesn't really matter. The point is he's pushing the boundaries to be better.
Yeah.
And it then pushes other people to be better, and that's the key thing. So if I think I encourage everyone to start, and if you want to start by doing the tried and tested format, a format that worked the space, perfected, and to me is the master of, and he does it how people will think that's how you should do it, and because he's so good at it, he can continue doing it. But there has to be that change within other YouTubers and other content creators of we've got to push people, we've got to push things to be different and be better. Not necessarily better, but just to go in different directions.
Yeah, for example, I mean, a couple of years ago, I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, but I started doing FM experiments just to be different. I thought, let's do something with the editor, because no one's really done anything with the editor before. So I just decided to do that, and other people followed suit. And it's just been a bit different. You have to be different to be noticed.
I think the experiments I did on the channel got times 10 the amount of views that the series has been getting. But yeah, I mean, going on to the Fox in the Box, I actually spoke about him today quite a lot because he's the youth recruitment video for the 4th season he's done is absolutely amazing, the intro. So I see what I mean, where he's done something different, and it's kind of like a movie type intro.
Yeah.
Like I said, people are always going to have differences, and people are always going to fall out. Sometimes advice is given, and maybe people take it in the wrong way. For example.
Nah, no way. That'll never happen.
I'm just looking down the side. There's a few people commenting, so I'm just going to quickly jump through these, lads. Right, Jake's come on. Jake said he's got friends, so I don't believe that, so I'll skip that comment.
What?
Cheers listening, Jake, pal. One of the admins on our Facebook group. James is listening. Thanks for listening, James, the owner of the Football Manager WizKids. Do you think FM should import this for next year? You know, when a guy gets injured on FM, which is yellow, you should be able to ask him how he's feeling, because sometimes they're fine, others are months out. What do you think of that, Ryan?
I'm a bit confused by that.
Yeah, I was reading that just as you were discussing about YouTube. I think it's something that they could import, but then are they actually going to be able to do that? And
Yeah,
is it realistic? Usually, sometimes it's just down to a manager. Like if you're injured, come off. That's what I usually do. I'd rather not take the risk.
I think what he's saying, Paul, is if you know when you play mid-match and a player gets a light injury.
Or they get a knock.
So you should be able to ask your player in game how they feel. So be like, have you got a sore head, or do you need some cowpole?
do you want the wet sponge, basically?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think it could be imported into the game for next year?
Well, I guess so, because they seem to like all these sort of things where you talk to players individually. So why not sort of beckon a player over to the sideline? It'd be good if you could see a little manager just sort of waving a player over and saying, "You're right, yep," and then he sort of nods his head or shakes his head.
I think
it add more to the match screen.
But I don't know if there's too much, because with these in-game shouts where you can talk to players individually or I don't know if that's too much. I don't know how much of an effect they actually have. I've tried to work out what each one does, but I haven't really seen a huge amount of benefit of using the in-game individual shouts to players.
Well, I think I try to use them quite a lot if I'm the odd goal up, etc. And maybe it works, or maybe I can just hold on, but
I just try and use it when they're sort of looking agitated or I've got some sort of strange expression.
If I'm losing and I tell them to push up and shouts like that, it just does not seem to work. Kieran's come on, Kieran Kirk. He said his play experiments have been catching the eye on his channel. Kieran's another YouTuber, which is fantastic.
Hi, Kieran.
In the current,
is there a current community manager?
That's a really interesting question, because I've been talking about this recently.
Sorry, go on then. Do you want to answer that?
Sorry, I know you're not an official guest here. I feel bad, but it's just
No,
it's funny that question was asked. That I was talking to Work. Are you aware of Work the Space?
Yes.
Gets everywhere, doesn't he? It's like sand.
It's like Jesus.
Not quite. But I said to him recently that I think Football Manager needs a community manager, and he said to me, "There is a community manager," and I said, "Yeah, great. Football Manager needs a community manager, because while there may well be one, and there is one, there is one, and I'm sure." They wish they could do more, maybe they're being held back. There isn't a face for the game. Apart from Miles, who is a studio director, not a community manager, there isn't someone where, for at least as a content creator for me, there's not someone that we can go to and talk about ideas and give feedback to. Unless, of course, you consider the forums that place, which I don't.
No.
Because, I think it's...
it's inaccessible.
Exactly.
In the modern age.
There's the stigma to go to the forums, but it's like, forums aren't... Do you know what? I wouldn't say this killed forums, but Twitter sort of took the place of a forum, because it's an open forum with instant responses. And that's
I think
that forums have got.
In the terms of a community manager, now I don't know how public he is, but there's the person we contact as a fan site, etc., and he is fantastic at...
Yeah, he's really good, yeah. But there's no one for people outside who aren't an affiliate.
That's the issue. I literally have no idea how public he is, so I don't even want to start giving his name out in case he's not a public person.
No, he's not, I don't think. He's just for the fan site. He does media things as well.
I'll look into it this week, because like I say, I mean, I'm trying... I've been speaking to him today just about things to do with the FM community, and I know FMCentral's not been around long, but we became a fan site a lot quicker than most sites do, and we pushing to the next stage of it as well. And I'm jumping in trying to sort stuff out, and he's really good at getting back in touch with me. So I will speak to him this week about the community manager side of it and seeing what we can do. Because as Benji says, I mean, and I totally agree. The forum, I will quite happily hold my hands up and say the Sports Interactive Forum I'm not a fan of. I find it very hard to get around. When I post on it, I get very random replies sometimes for very genuine questions or queries about the game. So a community manager or just a community team for Football Manager. I mean, maybe they should look at the star fan sites, and if they want to get the fan sites more involved, the top fan sites should maybe take some of the burden away, and maybe people in the community go to the fan sites for help and stuff like that. So,
I think that sort of thing would only get a situation so far. You want someone who is affiliated with Sports Interactive.
Yeah,
to
but
be, to be a face. Like, I want someone to be not accountable as such, because I don't think there's no doubt they would get abuse on Twitter, because that's what Twitter does and that's what the internet is. But I mean, I want someone that I can directly go to and just ask a question to. Well, there's not a face front in Sports Interactive, really, apart from Miles. And
he doesn't.
And that's not. And frankly, Miles, that's not your job. Like,
no.
I totally get that you feel the responsibility because it's your game and you put it out. And being a community manager for a game, you can look at every other game in the world, really. A lot of them have community managers, and a lot of them thrive through that because the community then feel like they have a voice through that community manager. And that's something I think we lack.
Well, I think that's... Sorry, go on, Paul.
Yeah, well, most companies have some sort of Twitter account now where people go and ask questions, don't they? Like, in any industry now, they seem to have some sort of helpful person online that can be asked via Twitter. But you can't just ask the Football Manager page a question because they're not going to reply. Miles tries to answer everything, but people just get annoyed by his answers and angry with him. I
genuinely feel sorry for Miles. And,
this just builds on to a question. It's just, I don't know if you've seen it, Paul, that's just come up. Someone's just posted, do you think Miles is a massive dick who can't take constructive criticism about his game?
Not at all, because people who follow me on Twitter know that I've got my personal account and the FMCentral account. And honestly, people need to remember that is Miles's personal Twitter account. Yes, it's called Miles SI because he works for SI. He maybe has a share in it, maybe, I'm not sure. But I think the way people speak to him, the way people tweet him, and some of the questions they get asked, I think he handles it extremely well, because genuinely I wouldn't stand for half of it.
I understand why people might think that, though.
I can understand why people might think it, but they need to check how many followers he has, and maybe then question how many people per day message him saying, my goalkeeper's just run out the box. And it's like, no wonder. I genuinely think he's copy and pasted the Sports Interactive forum at one point, and it's still saved as a paste on his phone. So he literally just have to click. He literally just clicks paste every time someone asks that question. But no, I think Miles is a really genuinely down to earth guy, and he just gets a lot of shit. And at times he replies maybe in not the best fashion, but he's only human, and 90% of the time he'll reply really nicely to people as well. So
I think I think the point I made on it was that he's doing a job that I don't think he should have the responsibility to do. I totally get why he does it, but I think there needs to be a bridge between him and a community manager and the community.
Yeah.
Because if you asked a lot of, I would bet if you asked 100% of the, well, not 100%, but if you asked a percentage of the FM community who is the community manager, they will say it's Miles Jacobson.
Yeah, I think.
And it's not.
Well, I think it's if you ask anybody, name someone from Sports Interactive, or sorry, name two people from Sports Interactive, you would say Miles Jacobson, then you would say, then you'd try to remember the two people who maybe created Football Manager, but you'd say Jack.
Dr. Benji FM would be up there.
Name two people from Sports Interactive, Miles and Jack.
Well, that'd be.
Sorry,
right.
Paul, what were you going to say?
I've forgotten.
Someone
say
said
something.
This is a great tactics special.
yeah, it is. Oh, we're talking tactics. We are.
Technically, we're talking the tactics of Sports Interactive.
Yeah, we are.
I remember now. Sports Interactive is a relatively young company still, and they're sort of learning as they go along how to be a company, because it's just a game spawned out of a bedroom, like most games are, and eventually they become a bit more commercial and become more of a proper company. And SI is just going along and gradually becoming, I guess, and learning as they go along, I think.
Now,
maybe eventually it will work out.
The Real Steel's coming. He said, do you think goalkeepers sometimes make stupid mistakes like miskick the ball and miss it? Would happen to me on... See, the question about making mistakes and mistakes in the match engine, I've actually tried to explain this in previous episodes, or to try to justify it, shall I say. I'm going to try within 30 seconds because it takes so long. I don't think I explained it to the best. Basically, I like to compare with a 50-50 challenge. That's the best way I like to explain it. If you have two people going for 50-50 challenge in FIFA, for example, you can literally mince people, to say it in a nice way. Now, in what you'll find a lot of the time, players will just run over the ball, etc. in Football Manager. The reason I find behind that is the two stats of the players. If one player has a higher tackling stat and the other stats which are used for tackling, etc., you will find the person with the weaker stat will just leave the ball. Now, I don't find it a glitch. I find it just the way Sports Interactive have got the match engine working for that type of situation. So if you compare that to all the other situations, like a goalkeeper making a mistake, a goalkeeper coming out the box, etc., sometimes it's just the way the match engine is displaying the issue with that person's stats. It might not be explained well, and people might just think, no, you're talking crap, but I think that's basically what I think. Let's just jump down the side. Alex FM Borden, he disagrees. He doesn't. Miles blocked him.
Shall we talk about tactics now?
Yeah, we'll cover the tactics.
Can you hear me eating onion rings, by the way?
I can. It sounds nice, and you're making me very hungry. It's
I'm sorry.
It's 12 o'clock here, and I'm ready for food.
We don't allow that sort of thing in the FM League. There's strictly no food during
I
recording.
always talk about food.
Well, we normally have that rule, but Paul's more important than me, so I don't want to tell him off.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know
Right,
about
Paul,
that.
we've
I'll
got
stop
your
now.
tactic on the screen.
I need some calories.
Ooh, that's
Some
very.
calories. Right, do you want to explain the tactic, Paul?
It's very good. I score
Very
lots of
decorative.
goals. It doesn't look like it should work, does it? Because there's like ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But
Very
somehow it
limited
works.
defenders, basically.
I saw this formation. I just saw the formation on Twitter, I think, and I thought, oh, let's try and make something of this. And I just fiddled around, and it worked eventually. And then I tried it with Forest, and it obviously obliterated everyone. Assombalonga and Keane are just incredible up front. If anyone's watched my videos, they know. I mean, just look at the goals down the side there.
Yeah,
44
they're absolutely
goals.
awesome.
Oh, you've seen a sneak preview now.
Damn it, nobody look. You sent me the wrong screenshot.
No. But yeah, it's very attacking, very fluid, very quick passing. I remember in the early days, people used to say, "Oh, you can't have quick and short passing together. It doesn't work." But with the right players, it can work. If you've got players that can pass it around, then it does work, and this works. I sometimes change the defending. I sometimes say push higher up or drop deep, depending on when it in game. If I see that my player's getting caught up the pitch too much, I'll tell them to drop deeper.
Your two defenders.
Yeah, I tell my two centre backs to drop deeper. I sometimes pull the fullbacks back and go counter if I'm winning quite comfortably, or if I'm just trying to hold on and it's looking a bit tricky away from home, I drop the fullbacks back. So I do change it up a bit, but this generally does work very, very well.
Do you know what I mean? When I look at that, I don't know about yourself, Dr. Benji, but when I look at that, I see the pass into space and work ball into box. Now, in my opinion, I would say them two clash, but obviously, as Paul's saying, he's getting it to work.
Yeah, well, on FM, if you click ones that clash, then you can't have them both selected, but this allows you to do both, so it works.
It could be to do with just moments of play. Like if you're playing more of a direct style, which Paul's not actually, but if you're playing, yeah, I agree, they clash. Paul's got it wrong.
But it works.
Nah,
Big Jack 6-1 FM League. Check it out. It was uploaded earlier.
Oh, nice. You give that away. I was going to
FM
watch
League,
that
you know.
tomorrow.
You can watch them all.
But yeah, I mean, I do understand the much higher tempo and the shorter pass and return. Because I was like, say, it's just you're still holding onto the ball, but you just want them to pass it between each other a lot quicker.
Zulu Ninja 18 on the side has said 3 striker formations are so overpowered, and he's right. I've noticed on this game, and people in the FM League with 3 strikers, Mick has an insane tactic. He's got 3 up front, and it just works really well. And I think 3 striker formations definitely seem to be quite overpowered in this game.
What I would say, if you lads haven't actually checked him out, Zulu Ninja 18, his YouTube channel, it's really underrated. He's just released a new series where he's doing a Jose and basically jumping between clubs after only a certain amount of seasons. His videos are good. He's a good YouTuber to watch. I'm just quickly looking on the side. Jake Cave said he did an FM Cup 3 years ago. Championship Manager 99, I played against my mate and we competed for a cup, so I win.
God, he's got you there, KV. You're out. That is a
I did
knockout.
Subbuteo Cup with my granddad many years ago.
Oh, damn. No, we're only talking Championship or Football Manager, sorry.
Subbuteo Manager. Oh, I'm going to make that. I should upload videos of me playing Subbuteo to YouTube. Would anyone want to watch that?
Sure.
Paul, that's your friend Paul, please don't.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Please don't.
I could review different types of crisps at the same time.
I watch some random stuff, so I'll give that a watch.
What's the most random, just off topic, what's the most random thing you've ever watched? I'm sure the listeners would love to know.
Most random ever, I'm not sure, but today I did watch 1 hour's worth of Charlie Sheen interviews since he left 2.5 Men.
And why did he leave?
Basically, he made a Jewish comment about the owner, and he was snorting £7 of cocaine every couple of hours.
You can't beat me for most random thing watched.
Oh,
Go on,
Paul.
My grandparents gave me a Hoover from the 1950s.
Okay, where's this going?
And I typed the make into YouTube, and there's this guy that has loads of vintage Hoovers and just goes around his house and reviews them. And they're like
Okay.
Hoovers from the 1950s. So that's the most random thing I've ever watched on YouTube.
Yep, you definitely win. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to Ryan. Ryan, are you alive?
I am alive.
Fantastic. Go on then, Mr. Depression. Explain your tactic.
That's an awful name, by the way. Can we
Mr.
drop the
Depression.
name?
Blame
Yeah.
statistical approach for that. He came on and I wasn't feeling 100%, so I got Ryan to do it was an interview with statistical approach. And afterwards he said Ryan didn't sound too happy, he sounded a bit depressed.
I don't think
Ah.
it was him. I think it was someone else giving feedback.
It's not
Okay.
And from then, it's just I've been
Must have
called
been a fun
Mr.
episode.
I've been called Mr. Depression because I have a calming voice.
Ryan, are you depressed?
I'm never ever depressed. I
Right,
just
in which case,
very
Ryan,
calm.
that name is gone. It's off the record. I don't wanna
He's
hear
called
that.
Mr. Ryan now.
There's a stigma. Yeah, Mr. Ryan. Mr. Happy Ryan.
Mr.
That's
Happy Ryan.
no problem.
Mr.
Dr.
Happy
Benji
Ryan.
speaks. I will comply.
Sorry,
Go on.
Luke. I know Luke's come up with that, and I've sort of waded in there and said, look, we can't be having that because the stigma attached to the word is not nice. Whereas, think about if Mr. Happy Ryan enters a room, everyone's getting out party poppers, balloons in the corner, there's music on, Ryan's dancing, everyone's having a great time. The alternative is not worth thinking about. Ryan, I love you.
Very true. I love you too.
Did you know who I was before half an hour ago?
I've
Do
seen
you know
you
I'm going to
before.
say no because he never watches YouTube. He doesn't even watch my YouTube videos.
Wow, some friend.
It's ridiculous.
Well, it's like as Paul said, I have a life.
He really doesn't. Go on, Ryan. Explain your tactic.
I have a life.
Stop showing off, Paul.
It's 3 p.m. on a Thursday. At 11 p.m. on a Thursday, none of us got lives.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
I'm eating onion rings.
Exactly.
Right, come on, Ryan. We're going to get this done. Tactic discussion.
Right, okay, this is a basic, well, it's not basic, it's an adapted 4-5-1, but I've called it 4-2-3-1 counter because that's kind of how it plays out on the pitch. If you put up the average positions on the pitch in this game against Colombia that I had in the World Cup, all apart from one player are in my half, but if you look at the score that I had with Serbia, I don't know if Paul and I forgot Dr. Ben. Must be Benji. Have you been following my save?
Mr. Happy Ryan, come on
I'm
now.
afraid I haven't.
Well, basically, I won the World Cup with Serbia
Oh, well done.
Serbia.
I won the World Cup with Morocco on FM11.
using this tactic, which is why I've called it the counter, and all the average positions seem to work. And have a look at some of the other results, and then we'll discuss the. Actually, no.
There we go. Oh no, go back.
Yeah,
Too late.
we'll discuss that one.
Okay, go on then.
So this is not that one.
Oh,
The
no.
team instructions. You can
Okay.
So I just have a basic 8 that I have using here. I always like to retain possession in any tactic, and then work the ball into the box, and then play out the defence. It's kind of Barcelona, but with the players that I have at Serbia, I never classed them as Barcelona standard. But then I've gone on to win the World Cup. The roam from positions. I don't know. Have you ever used that, Paul, or anybody else?
Roaming playmaker.
No, the roam from position, the actual instruction
Oh,
to
oh
tell
yeah.
you
I've used that
all
many a
of the
time.
players to roam from position. I don't know. Have you used it a lot, Paul?
Me or Paul?
You,
Mr.
Paul.
Paul, Mr. Central.
Mr.
No.
Paul.
No, I literally that button to me is like if I press that, my team will explode. Come on! Everybody takes a mick on me because I play for a point every game. Do you really think I'm going to press that button?
Well, how do you think I started? I started out trying to play for points on this save. Now look at me, manager of PSG, winning titles left, right, and centre, winning the World Cup. You have to start low to get high.
You could select that and then just tell you.
In the words of Tupac.
Yeah.
Totally.
I couldn't press that button. Sorry. that button and look for overlap. Honestly, if I saw my fullbacks crossing that halfway line, I think I'd have a panic attack.
Like Roy Hodgson then.
I have I did calculate today in the 3 saves I'm doing. I've played 75 games so far in the current seasons, and I've lost 9 in them 75. But I've drew, I think it was like 40 of them. So I have an issue where as long as I don't lose, I'm kind of happy because I normally play as teams who are expected to struggle in the league. And like I said, last season with Luton, I completely demolished League 2. So
How do you
it
do
works.
that though? Because like defences are just useless sometimes in FM.
You see, I end up, I think it was in 46 games, I conceded, I think it was 31, and I think I've conceded 11 all season so far with Alaves. I play both my fullbacks on defensive duty, then my centre-backs on limited defender, then I have a defensive midfielder who sits in front of me, he's allowed a bit of freedom, but then I have a flat 4 sat in front of the defensive midfielder who all are allowed to push forward. And what I find is, when I'm attacking, I have my 4 hold a line on the halfway line, for example. Then my defensive midfielder kind of floats just in front of them. And it's so solid because whenever teams try to counter-attack me, they can never get through. I only concede goals from good play. I don't concede any counter-attack goals or any sloppy, basically, when we lose the ball because I always have a solid line staying back. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I do it. But go on, Ryan, back to you.
Well, yeah, it's just a tactic it's kind of it works out as a 4-2-3-1 in attack, but when I'm on the defence, all the players apart from Luka Jovic, who is godly on this save and seems to love me and has followed me to PSG and is scoring tons of goals, they just compact my own heart. It's kind of what Chelsea do, just park the bus and then race on the counter as soon as I get the ball and start scoring loads of goals for fun, which is kind of how I won the World Cup. And amazingly, I haven't updated the post. I meant to put the World Cup final on this post to show that the tactic finally works throughout the whole World Cup. I ended up beating Argentina 3-2 in the final, and then I ended up waking up my housemate. I ended up waking my housemate here. Oh, I did update it. Shows how much work I know I've done.
I'm just going to quickly jump down the side. Paul, you are famous because the Real Steel says, "Hello, Golden FM. I'm your biggest fan."
Oh, thank you. You make me blush.
Makes
FMCentral sound very good.
1 second, Dr. Benji. I'll just check.
Okay, good. Look forward to this. I imagine there'll be a few, maybe 3 or 4, 5 or 6.
I think I must have accidentally clicked them off. Sorry.
Well, somebody said they found you on Omegle earlier, so that's kind of weird. Do you go on Omegle?
I might, as we speak, yeah.
Oh, so somebody may have found you on Omegle earlier.
I've got a tattoo of Sports Interactive across my chest, so that's an easy way to know it's me.
There you go. What's Omegle? Can somebody?
It's like, have you heard of chat roulette?
It's a dating website. It's a dating website.
It's the best way to meet people.
Chat roulette.
Just type it in later when you might be able to find me on Omegle.
You're on Omegle? Is everyone on Omegle?
No,
yeah.
It's
You
not
should
like
get an account.
It's not like a social media. You start finding people like with their penises out. It's a very, very nice sight.
I think I'll leave it.
Well, not you, Ryan. You're
I don't know.
When
Right,
I said Mr. Happy, I didn't mean it was like that.
We're all happy times.
Just quickly down the side. Jake Davies, an online game, was that just two of us in the same save? It was 1999. I don't even think my internet worked then. Don't think we could afford the internet, so was it just in our own house? Sorry, no internet.
Was it where you had
That's the beauty
Using
of that.
dial-up?
did you have one desk chair? You had to, like, you get up, have a person sit down.
We used to have to go and get the chair from the dining room table and like put it next to us so we could both sit on the computer staring at the screen. He was Mansfield Town and I was Darlington. I remember that. It was such an amazing save. But just quickly, I'll fly through all the comments on the side. Mr. Zulu says Ryan's the best co-host in the world.
Well done,
No, isn't that
Ryan.
nice?
My comment must have disappeared. Jake says Keno. Callum says, I don't know. Callum says a solid line, very important. Totally agree. Is F1 enjoying this FM? Yes. My opinion is it's the best one. What about yourself, Dr. Benji?
Yeah, I think it's a slight improvement on last year, and I want a slight improvement every single year. I don't want it to change. I want it to be a slight improvement. So yeah, I think it's. I think when it came out, I think it was worse than last year's. I think now, since they did their title updates, I think it's way better. I think it's the best one they've done. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed reading all the people who were going crazy at the beta version about how bad it was. And you just it's beta, just be patient. Just quickly, Jake said, Jake Stewart, call it 4231.
And I, Ryan, called it 4231 counter.
And Mr.
I think
Posh,
it's a wonky 4231.
that's what we could call you, Mr. Posh, Ryan,
It's
but
wonky.
Mr. Paul sounds more posh than you as well, doesn't he?
I'll tell you what, you should meet my friend Keno. He's as posh as they come. Let me tell you. Oh.
See, this
Get
is
him
what
on-
I say. Paul
You should
says
get him
I'm
on one
posh.
week. You should get him
But-
on 1 week. Keno he couldn't be more posh.
So I think it would be good to get a posh person on. Ryan can talk to him and they'd be sorted.
I'm
it'd
not
be
that
like
posh.
it'd be the most middle class thing you've ever witnessed on the internet. Let me tell you.
We were going to get Jake on for tonight's show just for like a 5-minute again, but I have to translate when he comes on. He has the most strong Geordie accent you'll ever hear in your life. And Ryan struggles. But I think that is the end of the tactics special, which was about 5 minutes of tactics. Is there anything else you lads want to talk about?
The FM League.
The FM League, no problem. Tell us
Well-
what it is.
Note that I didn't say that, so Paul, away you go.
He's
Well, it's
obviously doing well in it.
something Dr. Benji organised. 8 FM YouTubers playing in a league format, and then it's going to be a playoff knockout format, and we're all uploading to our own YouTube channels. So yeah, check us out. It's good stuff. Good fun.
Do you know, I was genuinely expecting a really long plug there. I started
Well,
doing
it's
something
just
else and then it just
It
stopped.
speaks for itself. When you watch one, you'll watch the next one.
Can I do a few shout-outs?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Mum, you're not watching this, but if at some point later you do find this on the internet during like those random YouTube searches, you see Paul today found out all about Charlie Sheen. You might find this. Dad, thanks for driving me places when I was younger. That's pretty cool. Now, there's 8 members of the FM League, so I'm just going to whiz through this. Evolving Mick, great guy, great friend. Appreciate everything you do. TTTV2, a legend of the Football Manager community. Paul Holden, of course, in the chat now, does a great job.
I like
Some of
watching
the
onion rings.
experiments are up there. Jakey Cave, Mr. Reliable, the person you can depend on. You know, he's a great. He's been in the chat tonight. He's been causing a bit of trouble, but you know what he's like. Second yellow card. You know, he's a friend of the show. Second yellow card. Great guy. Great guy with a great dog. So I think that's important to note as well. And statistical approach. You know, he works hard. Bless him. That does what he thinks is required. And then finally, work the space.
The legend, the mission.
It's a shame that he's not. So he's left us now. He works for SI, so he's the big man on campus. Yeah. A few more shout-outs. Got a friend called Peter. Great guy again. He's there for me when needs be.
Don't forget the childhood friends.
Oh, okay, fine.
Nursery. Start off with nursery.
Josh, we've not spoke in like, I don't know, it must be 8 years now. If you just happen to find this podcast, I don't think you can play Football Manager, but if you do find it, get in touch. I'm on Twitter at Dr. Benji, YouTube, youtube.com/Dr. Benji FM. Don't add me on Facebook because it'll be a bit weird because we've not spoken for a while. We know how it ended. It was emotional. Andrew next door, don't see you very often. Miss you.
Don't worry, Paul, because what I'm thinking is because he is giving a shout out to all his friends, he's going to share this video so they can listen to it.
I've got mine next.
Okay, and finally, one last shout out. Shout out to FMCentral for being the best Thursday night podcast and occasionally Mondays, yeah?
Whoa. No, every Monday and Thursday.
Every Monday and Thursday, the best podcast on Mondays and Thursdays about Football Manager on the internet at the specific time of 10:30 on the internet.
Until
Fantastic.
past 11, but occasionally.
If you want to quote that on the site, there will be a fee. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah,
What about
we'll
a
discuss that
Saturday
after.
show? You could do like live commentary of all the Premier League matches.
We're not
No.
allowed to do that.
You won't watch it. You just do the radio commentary.
I hate to interrupt, but my girlfriend behind me, Ellie Curtains, has just said, "What about me?"
Just give a shout out to the
I
curtains.
thought you were asleep, so I ignored you. But great work, and I'm really pleased.
She sounds extremely happy that you haven't given
No,
her a shout out.
Well, I thought she was asleep, so I thought I got away with it. She's looked at me with devilish eyes, and she's now. Can we do episode 4? Okay, never mind.
I'm not going to lie, when Paul said you were coming on, I thought he said Ellie Curtains was coming on, so I prepared a list of questions, and then you turned up. I was thinking, oh,
Wow.
disappointing, but
She's the real star now.
you take who you can get, don't you?
I just lost my Lego man's hair. It's falling off.
Paul is on fire tonight, burning toast, eating crisps.
I think second yellow card's got it on his head. So,
Where's he gone?
Can I just say, second yellow card is on Monday night's football and FM show.
Is he?
Yeah, just quick
Is
mention.
he allowed to bring a?
This
Is he
is-
allowed to bring a +1?
This
I
is
don't
news to
know.
me.
He never asks. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about it. But if you check our Google sheet, you'll see I updated it. So technically, I've covered myself there for getting told off.
If he needs a +1, I'll see
really
him one
annoying.
day.
Oh, I have no idea what Paul just said there. I think he's getting annoyed at his Lego.
I am. It's camouflaged to the carpet and I can't find it.
What I will say is this is 2 shows Paul's come on now, and both of them have overrun.
It's my fault.
Yeah, blame
Yeah,
the cusps.
I'm not responsible.
But no, them shout outs were well within the time limit.
Sorry.
But
Is it-
I found it.
Are we live?
Yes.
you know what? I love that. Lift your ears. I found it. And what I will say is thank you so much for coming on, Dr. Benji.
It's quite
And,
alright.
Paul, I hope you enjoyed your crisps.
There's still some left.
Oh, that's alright. Then
4.
Get them finished. I'm actually going to watch episode 2 of Dr. Benji's series before I go to bed.
It's a classic.
Oh,
And can I have permission to share that on our Facebook group?
I would love it if you would.
I was asking your girlfriend.
Lily, can I share the video on their Facebook page? She said yes, definitely. I'd love it if you did. Thanks.
I thought that sounded what she said, yeah. And then she sounded who? Who
No,
are
no,
these
no, she
crazy
said-
people?
She said definitely. She'd love it.
Does your missus like you recording? We'll just quickly ask this live before we hang up.
She was aware it was happening, if that's what you mean. She
Yeah.
knew it was going on, and the courts agreed. So.
Who's he talking to? Right, I think that's us done for this evening. I'd like to thank everybody who listens and people who listen back during the week. We really appreciate every single person. And leave a like and please subscribe if you like what you hear. I will be surprised if the viewers go up with Paul's crisp fanatics.
I love crisps.
Well, everyone loves crisps. Or chips as they're called here. There you go. You've learned some Norwegian. So
very
thanks for
American.
coming on again, Paul. I know they speak a lot of American here. It's crazy. It drives me mental. But yeah, hopefully you'll be on again soon, Paul. And same with yourself, Dr. Benji. You are welcome on any time.
I'm always available. Tweet me.
Fantastic. No problem. I will. And I
Alright.
won't start a tweet with you stole my ID this time.
I wouldn't do such a thing.
No, it's ridiculous. But thank you, and thank you for people who've commented and interacted with us during the show, and we will see you next week. Everybody can shout goodbye at the same time.
Bye. At the
Bye.
same time.
Bye, everyone.